Hi Capricorns, and welcome back. I'm Ashley Rose. This is your monthly reading for November 2021. This reading is for all signs, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus Capricorn. Anytime that you're drawn to this reading, again, throughout the month, this year, next year, whenever you see it and you feel drawn for it, there's a message in it for you. So I am so excited to have you here with me today, and just give me a moment while I get everything set up. We're going to be doing, what's going on now? 7 cards for the month, an oracle card, 3 cards for your love life, and an affirmation at the end. We are in Scorpio season. If you're watching this at the beginning of the month, we're in Scorpio season. Towards the end of the month, we are in Sagittarius. But starting this month off in Scorpio season is causing us to dig down deep and dig up and bring to the surface anything that's just no longer working for us, anything that needs to transform or be transformed. And we're talking about our work and our relationships, our friendships, the way we see ourselves, the way we value ourselves. All those areas can be touched on. And then it's this moment of transformation. So then when we get to Sagittarius season, when we get this new jolt of energy and this boost of confidence to go after what we want and to, take a risk for the life that, we see, the vision of the future that's in our minds, our happy place, that we go at it without any fear, without any worry, that we can, take a risk and take a chance on our life and our future. So there may be things that, there are going to be things that come up this month and, have us feeling a little upside down. Being Capricorn, we are the worker. You're the worker bee. You can take what you want and build it in your life, and you have the hard work and the dedication to apply yourself to it. You're connected. You're one of the older signs. So you're connected to, the higher realms, the older realms, and you're just more mature, you're distinguished. But sometimes what comes with that, because we are an earth sign, this inability to look at our feelings and explore what our feelings are and what they mean to us and how they could help us. So we could not, as you are going through this, you could feel a lot of resistance. There could be a lot of, don't want to have to deal with that, but these things are happening, they're coming up, so we can get ourselves in a place to receive and create the life that we want with more ease, so we can enjoy the life that we have going. We can create more, work for more, build for more, in a way that makes us happy, that sparks our joy, that fills us with love and excitement. I don't like this. So at the beginning of this month, we are going to, ooh! Oh my God, I love this. The High Priestess is popping up for everybody. I mean, we're in Scorpio season, so it is a time where our intuition is being, is heightened, is, being tested and pushed and, being examined or not pushed, I shouldn't say, but we are gaining trust in our intuition and allowing it to lead the way. And so it's really awesome to have this card coming through, because it's like all the things that we're all going through this year or this month are happening for a reason and are happening for our success. And for what we know is the best plan of action for us. Aligning ourselves with it, and it's nice to know that we're protected and guided along the way, that we are all going through it together, and it helps us establish this sense of community I'm wearing my support each other shirt because these next couple months, we're all really going through it, and it's really going to push us, but we're all experiencing it in our own way. Oh, there's some chaotic energy going on. We're all experiencing it in our own way, and it's going to be really helpful, super useful for us to be able to lean on our community and vice versa, for your community to be able to lean on you and learn support in a new way than we have before. Collectively, that's something that we are transforming. We're cracking open. We are not allowing, these things to divide us anymore. It's time to finally reconnect in with each other, which is why a lot of this stuff is coming up, for us to understand, to have compassion and empathy. One more, then we're gonna chat. All right, we start off this month with insight on what we love and what we want to create. You're creating a life that you love to share with those you love because you love it and expressing it. You're understanding what it means to evolve your ego and not to create and build something and work towards something just to say you have it for, the practical resources of it, the money, but to truly love your life and feel comfortable in your life. It can be a little hard sometimes being Capricorn because everything's like money, 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 work, 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 material possessions. And we're not used to that feeling of comfort, or that could be something that Capricorns struggle with, that security that doesn't come from money. So this month is really pushing you to find the security that's more than just money, more than just practical resources, more than just material goods. It's connecting into what makes you feel good and sitting comfortably in your creation, sitting comfortably in your desires, and building from that, allowing the harvest to bloom around you so you can be thankful, so you can be grateful, so you can understand how easy it can to create a life that you love, that you enjoy, that you feel safe in, that doesn't have to, run you in the ground and drag you out and make you tired and feel like you're bogged down. This is happiness. This is peace. This is enjoying the fruitful labor of all the work that you've put in. There's a little river running behind her, and that's your intuition, right? It's leading you. When I talk about our intuition is heightened during this time as it's Scorpio season, and we're tapped in to what we like, what we want, what we desire, what we need, what we're doing in this life, our life's purpose. We're tapped into it. We are receiving all these messages. And what your superpower is receiving the messages and able to apply them. So take everything in this month as it happens, not good nor bad, but something that's happening for you. And it's here to help you transform. 3 is the number for communication and new beginnings, having fun. And so if you ever reach a time where you're going through something, you're feeling harsh, you're feeling too, defiant or blunt about it, that's an indication to have some fun, shake it up, stop being so serious. Capricorns can be a little serious sometimes. So this month is going to be really pushing you to get, to get silly. I hear like, get silly. Get silly. That's in my head right now. But seriously, shake it off. We are coming into really good times, really fun times, and next year is going to be a really fruitful time for all of us. So it's important that we can learn that comfortability now with what we're doing instead of later on, of having to come back to it, when we have everything we've been working for and we still don't appreciate it, because there's going to be a lot of options on the table. And we have the 2 of Pentacles here. He's this way. He's weighing the ups and downs. He knows, like, there's waves out here. So there's a lot going on, a lot of chaotic energy. Again, like I said, like ups and downs. There's choices. There's relationships between your choices. You're having a hard time understanding and deciding what it is that you need to do. But with it being in reverse, we trust in ourselves, that we understand that there are ups and downs in life, and this roller coaster that we're on is, for us to enjoy and for us to experience it and receive the fun, right? Like, that's what a roller coaster is. It's about fun. Again, we're talking about fun with the Empress, and just allow ourselves to enjoy our life. Not feel like there's all these things going on. We have to juggle so much. We can, because we're hardworking, or you can because you're hardworking, and it's easy to achieve. But when you do that, you make yourself, it's so unrested. It's unbalanced. It's not being able to sleep at night and keeping yourself up worrying about all of these things that you can't control. And if you just, made it a little easier on yourself, took off some of the seriousness and allowed yourself to play a little bit more, the balance would come with ease. The sleep would come with ease. We'd be able to close this cycle, this like never-ending cycle that we're stuck in, of worrying, of doubt, of anxiety, of not doing too much, of not knowing how to communicate properly, and not, applying ourselves as hard as we can. Listen, you are Capricorns. You are the worker. Anything that you work at, you will be successful at in your life as long as you apply yourself, as you use your superpowers for good and not for bad, not for gossip, not, to spread misinformation or to work to tear down other people. But if you work to build yourself up, you're going to find so much in that. And it's in these moments it's in these moments that make us, up at night, we're worried about things, where instead of, giving and allowing ourselves to receive, maybe we took, or we didn't give when people asked or needed our help or needed our support, and maybe we took something from them that they really needed. And that is going to be highlighted during this month. We are going to be able to acknowledge parts in the past that maybe we didn't make all of the best decisions, and that's okay. We're human. It's part of this process. It's part of what you're going through and learning through. But you can write them. You can write them. You can change. You can acknowledge and accept responsibility for your behavior and move on, because without you knowing it or not, it's those things when you have acted wrongly towards others, where in your brain, even though that's not what you're communicating, your brain takes that as, I can't trust this person, because if I can do that to them, then I can do that to me, and this is not a safe space. And that creates the uncomfortable feeling, the insecurity, the not being able to feel safe, the need to, to find comfort in money and material possessions, when we really just need to, expand that comfort within ourselves and allow ourselves to be this loving, giving place that can grow, that can receive, that can help and support others. Because we have all that in us. We just have to tap into it. We have to allow that to come through. And the balance is going to be a big one for us throughout this month, because it's in the middle of our reading, and this is like baby justice. So in areas where you are feeling, and a lot of areas are going to be feeling unbalanced, but it's where you have control, is taking an honest look at them and how can I balance that out, and figuring out how you can balance it, and not in a way of what can they, and not in the way of pointing the finger and looking at what others can do to help me balance myself. This is you balancing you. You need to take back control. You need to allow yourself to be open to this and be patient that you're learning these things. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles over here, and the Queen of Pentacles about, holding her power, honoring it, being grateful, knowing her abundance, seeing her success. It's like, a mini version, or like I say, Nine of Pentacles, like the mini version of the Queen of Wands. Like the Nine of Pentacles is a little about her material possessions and a little less about, what she can do for, how she can lead her kingdom and what she can do for her life. That's impactful and positive. She's more about what I can have in my life. And we're learning that, what we can do for my life when I apply my powers to good, right? When I stop looking for other people's negativities and I start kind of shining a light on my own, and not to be a victim and look bad and shame myself, but to grow, but to see myself, my power, to honor it, to allow myself to be reborn, because I'm sitting solidly. You're solid in a stone throne in this beautiful kingdom of all of these roses going around you, all this greenery. There's all of this beautiful, all these beautiful flowers. Oh, there's even a bunny. I've never seen this bunny before. So yes, even though you can't see it, you're protected and you're guided. And it can be hiding in plain sight. Just like that. You're draped in your desires and you're healing yourself through this understanding by honoring your power and not crossing your own boundaries and honoring other people's boundaries. You know, that's really big, because when we do that, we drop all these swords that keep us feeling vulnerable, right? The Nine of Swords here, pay attention to nines, or that was 8, or this was 8. Sorry, we have the Strength. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, 9. This is 8. Sorry. I was right. 8 of Swords. So we have the strength to take these swords, you know, knock these swords down, to take these out of our mind, to take these out of our back, to go forward and move through these uncomfortable feelings. There's no need to be insecure anymore, because we see ourselves for who we really are. We're not trying to prove it anymore. You know, here, when you're upright like this, you're bound, but no one's holding you there. You can let go. You can wiggle out and grab one of those swords and cut you out. But there's almost like a choice to be stuck there, to be a victim, because you're literally just right outside your kingdom. You're so close. And this little thing of water is your intuition leading you there. If you look closely in the card, you can see it go all the way back up to the kingdom, and we're in reverse. So we have the strength to overcome these fears, overcome these vulnerabilities, and not to be blind or a victim to, you know, our own demise and our own distress. You know, be courageous and honor yourself in that way, because when you can and you do it, you unlock this limitless potential that's already infinite, that's already inside of you, but this all-knowing energy. And we no longer are fearful of going forward. We no longer act out of fear. We no longer are disconnected from ourself, and we can, you know, be in union with our higher self and our lower self, or our higher self and our ego. And as the conduit, as the messenger, as the one between the two, you know, take your vehicle forward and go towards your vision of the future, right? What you see is for you. And she's sitting in between these pillars, which is a doorway, and there's this cloak up behind her, and she's kind of like, did you put in the work? She's like saying, are you ready? Did you put in the work? Because you can have this knowledge, you can access all of this, but you have to be doing the work, and you have to be, you know, strengthening the relationship with yourself first, and putting in and trusting in your relationships around you. It's really important to expand on that trust, to learn trust and give trust and accept ways we haven't trusted others. And then we have Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Yes, a lot of this. So a lot of what we are dealing with this month is going to be releasing karma, things that we have been bound to repay, or you know, contracts, past lives. I'm going to read this for us. This is a pretty long one, I apologize, but Unbound. Releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. It's a time to release old soul stories that have been playing out in your life. They're coming up to be healed. There has never been a safer time to clear these patterns right now. Take a look at the patterns in your life that you are ready to release. Ancient vows and contracts that your soul made that have an expiry date. It could be a vow of silence or chastity or poverty. It is time to unwind from them. This is the time in which you free yourself from trauma of past lives. What old ways of being have an expiry date? When you name them, you claim them, and they stop holding power over you. When acknowledging these old patterns, it is important to acknowledge how they've served you up to now. For an example, a pattern of playing small, caused by soul fear of being seen or sharing your voice, would have served you by keeping you safe. In order to grow, you now need to soften by receiving and calling in support. It's time to unbind from the old ways of being that are no longer sustainable. So we're going to say, I release old soul stories, vows, contracts, and patterns that are no longer aligned with who I came here to be in the present time. I carry the lessons, growth, and gifts, but I no longer choose to live the same story. May I be unbound, unbound, forever unbound. Literally. unbound. You are releasing yourself from the things that just, all of what I've been talking, literally all what I've been talking about. We are literally releasing these old patterns and things that don't serve, the old ways, the things that keep us unbalanced, from not seeing our potential and staying up at night. We have the access to this because we are ready to move forward. We are ready to progress, and these things have an expiry date. So the High Priestess is here to help us move through this, to be a guiding source as you go through. And then we have, for our love reading, we have healing family issues, your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. A lot of people with Capricorn placements can tend to have, issues with our Capricorn moons. They say have, problems with their mom. So during this time, it's important for you to maybe look at those emotions that are brought up in terms of, things that you've gone through with her, or any grief that you have. Let it go. Look where you're holding resentment, because when you look at your relationships, and particularly with ones with other feminine energy, look at how you treat and act them, and if that is similar, treat and act towards them, and look at how similar that is to your mom if you have issues with her. And the same goes to your dad, and it's super important. I feel like the older placements tend to have some issues with their parental figures, but with this Nine of Wands, it's time to walk away from those burdens and release them. Trust that, yes, they've got you to where you are now, safe and secure, but it is time for you to move on. You're older, you're wiser, you are the parent of yourself now, and you can carry yourself through this. We have religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. I like to say that this is, yes, religious factors, but also these cards were made a very long time ago. And I like to say that this has to do with your beliefs and your values and, your spirituality, and finding somebody that is aligned with that. Because you're going to have everything you want, and then somebody could be coming your way, or you're healing these things. Somebody could be coming your way. You're healing your family issues. You're healing, maybe traumas you've had within your religion, and somebody comes your way and you're almost like too blind to your demise to see. So open up, be grateful for all of what's coming up to you, because you have this opportunity to be a flirt. And maybe, romance isn't a big thing for us this month, but be flirty and be open. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. Yes, it's better for you to support and be open and unbound yourself from these contracts than it is that your focus is going to be towards your relationship. So I'm sorry if that's not something you want to hear, but spend this energy on you, because it's going to be really beneficial if you can really write all of these things off and get yourself in a balanced place and ready for your future, letting go of this grief, taking off the cloak and being open to support and love. Because when you learn love for yourself and love in a community sense, the love for another person will just fall into place easily, and you won't even have to worry about it, honestly. So take the time to love on you and just explore yourself and be flirty and fun in who you are authentically. And then we're going to end it with our affirmation, and it is, instead of worrying about the future, I know all is well when I'm aligned with the moment. 100%. We're not worrying about the future anymore, or we're going to try not to, Capricorn. I know that's hard. And we're going to be in the moment and appreciate and be grateful for the things that we're building and working on now, because they're amazing and they're impactful. And Capricorn, 6 months ago would be happy or couldn't even imagine that you'd be where you are now, and would be so grateful to have those things then. So be grateful to what you have around you, because you're going to receive a lot from that. Alrighty, that's where I'm going to leave it. I hope you have a good rest of your November, whenever you see this, and I will catch you in the dailies.